If you're anything like me, you probably already understand that flexibility is key to overall wellness, health, and a balanced body. It gives you freedom of movement and allows you to build a body that will support everything you want to do in life. I personally experienced that when I transitioned from being stiff and heavily focused on strength to having full range of motion in every area of my body. But here's what I've learned, not only from my personal flexibility journey, but also after years of helping others become more flexible. Flexibility is much more complex and challenging than most people think. And I say this as someone who trains people for all kinds of goals, including strength, endurance, flexibility, and more. Out of all the physical abilities we can train, flexibility is one of the hardest. And as an exercise scientist, I can also say it was one of the hardest to study compared to all the other disciplines. This extra difficulty of flexibility training is multiplied when it's combined with the wrong mindset and common misconceptions. And I say this because I see people facing setbacks over and over again from things that they could easily avoid if they simply started with the right mindset. For this reason, in this video I want to break down 4 hard truths about flexibility training that will help you set your mindset right so you can avoid setbacks and achieve your goals faster. So the first truth is this: if you want to get flexible, train it first. Make it a priority. Flexibility is a finite goal. Once you've achieved it, it's done, and then it becomes easy to maintain. The best part? It has a massive carryover effect in everything else you do. Your squat will feel better, your running will improve, your handstands, climbing, MMA, dancing, your general movement quality. Everything benefits when you unlock full freedom of movement. That's why I'm saying that if you want to train 10 different things, and flexibility is one of them, the flexibility program should become a priority. And if this means that you should train a bit less in some of the other areas, that's okay. Trust me, it will pay off. The sooner you gain access to new ranges, the sooner you can actually start improving strength, control, and skill within those ranges. Think of it this way: if you currently have only 70% of the full range of a squat, why spend your time developing strength from that 70% and potentially building up more tightness, instead of focusing first on reaching 100% of your range and then shifting your focus on building full range strength with no limitations? From a coaching perspective, it makes more sense. But there's also another reason why you should put flexibility first, and that is that flexibility training is highly affected by muscle soreness. If you're constantly sore from intense workouts, it will limit your ability to improve your range. So if you're trying to do everything at once, heavy strength work, endurance, skill work, and flexibility, something is going to suffer. And in most cases, it's flexibility. That's why I'm saying that you should put flexibility first in your mind and make it a priority in your training. The second truth is that flexibility training isn't just some stretching exercises that you do at the end of your regular workouts. Similar to how strength and endurance training are not some random exercises that you do at the end of your flexibility workouts. I see people make this mistake all the time, thinking they can get the results that they want simply by doing a few stretches at the end of their workouts. And sure, you might see some progress by doing that, but if you want real long-term progress, you need to treat flexibility as its own discipline. This means giving it the same focus and structure as strength, cardio, or skill work, not just a few leftover minutes. So don't fall into the trap of underestimating the amount of effort flexibility training actually takes. The best methods are not just passive holds and require control, precision, and proper technique. This is not just stretching to feel good, it's real training. So if you're serious about results, don't treat flexibility as an afterthought. Give it a proper program and the attention it deserves. Truth number 3: other people's timelines don't apply to you. In other words, the time it took others to make it to their goals will not be the time you'll need to make it to your goals. And you might be thinking that this is the same for all kinds of training. But trust me, in flexibility training, individual differences are far greater than in strength or endurance. In my strength programs, I can usually predict with a high degree of accuracy when someone will reach a certain level of strength. The same goes for endurance. But with flexibility, I've seen people achieve full splits in just 2 to 3 weeks, while others using the exact same system need 10 times that long. And that's why using other people's timelines usually doesn't help. You will either get frustrated too soon or feel that you're failing, when in reality you're well on your way to succeed, but just at your own pace. And the final truth is that flexibility isn't about finding new fancy exercises, but instead it's about using the right methodology on exercises that we know that they work for decades. So many people think that if they find the perfect side split or pancake stretch, they will magically get flexible. But this is almost never the case. And I'm not saying that the exercises are not important, because they are. I'm only saying that the exercises that you choose to do are only one small piece of your program. The others are the sets, reps, time under tension, stretching intensity, contraction intensity, and rest intervals. All these variables are determined by the method that you choose to follow. And naturally, they are different for over 10 methods that you can choose to do. All that while the exercise remains the same. So if you constantly try to find new fancy exercises and basically change the only training variable that should remain stable, you're sabotaging yourself. What you should do instead is to learn the best way to use the exercises that you already have. And these were the 4 hard truths about flexibility training that I want to share today. I hope you found the video helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.